before last year, I never truly had to grieve. Like I've been around people grieving, like, and I've lost people, but like not permanently. So it's like I'm not completely oblivious, or the idea of loss is not foreign to me. But after last year, and in the span of exactly 6 months, I've had to grieve twice, or attempt to grieve, I guess I should say. Because I'll be honest, it's not easy, and I do not know what I'm doing. I don't feel like I've fully processed any of it. Um, One is much fresher than the other. I won't get into specifics or anything too crazy, I don't believe. Just for the simple fact that I don't want to cry. I'm not trying to cry. The one thing it has taught me though, and what has helped me through this process and dealing with it, is that I am not alone in my grief. Even though when it comes to this specific person, I am alone in my grief because we didn't share friends. We didn't really, our relationship was unique, and it didn't really give, I didn't get a chance to, really enter their world as much as I would have liked. And the same was true for them. And funny, not even funny enough, but I actually did mention them on this in this series, in a previous video. The person that I said that I had met through Bumble, um, yeah. Uh, and honestly, in hindsight, I wish I would have said them by name. Now I feel like if I say them by name, I don't know. I still might, but what good does it do? Other than, I guess, in my own sense of like trying to rectify, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I want to keep my relationship with them the way it was, at least now for the time being. The people I know how much they meant to me, and I talked about them all the time. Because one thing about me is I don't love people in secret. Although that's no diss to people who like literally have to, or feel like as if they have to. But I've been fortunate enough to where I've never had to love anyone in private or in secrecy. Um, just because of, I feel like there's power in that. I feel like there's a unique joy in feeling in knowing and being so transparent in something as beautiful as love, and being capable of doing so. My main point is I realized, or dealing with this has helped me realize that I'm not alone in grieving, and we all deal with it in our own ways, but being capable of coming together and seeing each other in no in being comfortable in not being okay, being comfortable in being like, hey, this shit sucks. I feel the worst I've ever felt, and I have no idea when it's going to get better. But and just be having a safe space, a comfortable space in being that way, it means a lot. Giving people the space and comfort to feel these things is important. you know because it's not something, grief is not something, loss is not something that people get over in a day or a week, because it's a life. There's nothing in this world that you can't quantify a human life. The memories that you won't be able to touch, you know only being able to recall someone, not being able to speak to them in real time, like that takes a toll. It weighs. I see it. I've seen it, and now I'm dealing with it personally. I keep telling people, I'm taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, and that's true. But part of me also knows that this is not something that is ever gonna just be lifted off of me. I'm a very, very sentimental person when it comes to people. And I'm very like, I don't let go of people, sometimes to my own detriment. But this was not one of those times. And now having to deal with this loss is a new challenge that I'm still navigating, you know, honestly. And I do feel like for the most part, like the first initial wave has passed. And although like I really still have not fully like wrapped my head around it, but again, just that initial shock has mostly subsided at this point, which is why I wanted to get back to doing this. And I knew that is what I wanted my first video back to be, because I think it's important to talk about. I think it's important to acknowledge. And I think we live in a time period where everything is very fast paced. And sometimes people expect you, not my people. I will say, not my people. None of my people feel this way, but there is like sometimes a general feeling of just having to push past things and get over things as quickly as possible. And when it comes to a human life, human lives being, passing away, that is something I can't do. Especially when it comes to people that I know, love, and care about. Even just know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts a lot more because it's someone I know, but like, I've never taken loss lightly. Like, especially when it's not of natural causes, like, that shit takes a toll, because snuffing out a life is not something to be taken lightly. You know, in any capacity, in any regard, people are important. People matter. You know, human lives matter. Some people just, I feel like a lot of people just fail to realize that. Even if you don't know them, even if they have nothing to do with you, because they knew somebody, and you never know, like, you never know just how close you were. And you don't ever know if that person could have been you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been in the exact same situation as them, and never know. And I think it's just important to acknowledge these things. Um, and I think it's also important to honor those people. I almost titled this video, I think we should impress the dead, because I've been thinking a lot about what Tyler says in Chromacopia, in the first track, Saint Chroma, where he's like, give a fuck about traditions, stop impressing the dead. And, and it's like that it is not lost on me that there is nuance in what he's saying. That's just like the blanket statement. Just the sense that there are certain traditions, and I honestly, just the history of him saying that, I know that more likely than not, he means just the sense of stop blindly following traditions without asking questions. Stop being blindly obedient and start asking where things come from. However, what I will say is, that statement lacks the nuance of that. And I think sometimes it is important to impress the dead. I think we should impress the dead more, because, especially looking like me, being black, our ancestors, like, they had reasons and purposes for everything they did, you know, and some of them were not the best. And that's where raising questions is important. But in doing research and finding out why we did certain things. But just the sense of just disregarding the dead, I don't agree with, and I don't think I ever did, because even now, like, I'm spending time finding ways how I can honor my lost loved one. I've started by buying a hell of like a ton of fucking Studio Ghibli movies, because they love Studio Ghibli movies. We only watched one together, which was Spirited Away. I wanted us to watch Princess Mononoke, I think it's how you pronounce it. But that was the next one I wanted us to watch, but we never got a chance to. So it's in this bundle. I bought a bundle, and then I bought The Boy and the Heron. I hope that I hope that's the way. I think it's not the other way around. I guess I'll find out after later because they're over there or they're right at the foot of my bed. But yeah, I'm planning to watch all of these in honor of my lost friend, and I'm excited because they love these hoes. Like they loved they loved them a lot. And I'm excited. I'm planning to get some jewelry for them. And I've done a few other things, and I'm still planning to do more because that's what's important about honoring the dead and keeping them with you, carrying them with you. You know, you don't necessarily have to live your life in the way that they would, but it's important to, carry them with you, honor them in the ways that align with you, and acknowledge them and speak to them. I still talk to them. No cap. Anytime I'm annoyed or I'm feeling some type of way, I start speaking to them because I miss them, and I know they're still with me. I'm not even the most spiritual person. I've been trying to get more spiritual, but they gave me, bro, the day that we met, they gave me the most spot on reading, one of the few spot on readings I've ever had. And again, these are just things that I'm carrying with me, and I will continue to carry with me as long as I'm here. And yeah, that's most of what I wanted to get across today. Honor the dead, impress the dead, carry them with you. And remember that you are not grieving alone. We are united in our grief. There is a solidarity in our losses, in our sorrow, in finding our ways to cope and finding our ways to deal. And community is going to be the way forward now more than ever. So yeah, be safe, stay dangerous. Thank you for watching. Much love, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.